So you're thinking about wearing a lace front wig for Halloween with little to no experience and expect it to look fabulous. This is the only tutorial you will need. This is part 1, installing the wig cap. You are wearing this for Halloween, which means you need it to last for a night, which is why we're going to be using products like Gotta Be Glued gel. If I needed this to last for longer than one night, I would use real wig glue. We're using these products so that they're easy to wash off at the end of the day. We need to install a wig cap. The first two mistakes I see people make is one, a lot of people don't think to wash their hairline before trying to install something. If you have buildup of oils or skincare products in your hairline, then trying to glue something to that is not going to go great. The second most common mistake is not thoroughly gluing down your hairline. If I were to take my wig cap and put her on right now and try and glue her down on top of my hair as it is, I'm gonna see little hairs sticking out from under the glued down part of my wig cap. I'm gonna secure my hair. It's hard to tell you what to do in terms of securing your hair because it's so dependent on what kind of hair you have. I typically do a tight little French twist on the back of my head, and because my wig is so teased, you can't see the lump that it makes. Once the hair is secured in the back, we're gonna glue down this hairline. What I recommend is an edge control gel. Edge control is a thick, dense gel. If you're really in a pinch, you can't afford to get an edge control gel, but you have Gotta Be Glued gel, you could use this. This doesn't work as well as an edge control gel, but if you're in a pinch, I will allow it. What I do not want to see you using is a hairspray. Hairspray, even a Gotta Be Glued hairspray, it's not going to give you what you want. We're going to scoop a chunk of our edge control gel. I'm going to smash it on my hairline. You can use a little brush like this. I prefer a bigger brush like this. And we're gonna start shellacking it back. And I'm pushing pretty hard against my skin. The places where it's really important is right in the center here and on the edges right here by the ear. Do you see how it's all kind of like fluffy out here? If I leave it in this droopy kind of shape like that, it's gonna be a nightmare. I want this shellacked, shellacked, shellacked. Make sure that there is not a single hair that has not been thoroughly shellacked down. Take this part of my palm and I push really firmly all along the hairline. Now we're gonna grab our wig cap. I'm gonna hook it on the front of my forehead, pull it down to cover my hair underneath, and then I'm gonna grab it on the sides. And do you see this band right here? I do not want to glue this band to my forehead. This is the part that I want to glue to my forehead. So I need to make sure that there is enough room between the edge of my hairline that I want to glue down and the band, pulling it out away from my skin and placing it where I want. Once I'm here, we need to cut some ear holes on either side. And it's not just for comfort while you're putting the wig cap on. When this is sitting on top of my ear like this, my ear is pushing the cap out away from my skin just the tiniest bit, and it won't sit flat right here. The ear hole that I cut is about the size of a quarter. It's not as big as my actual ear, because if you cut this giant, then the wig cap is gonna have a giant hole on this half of your head. So I cut a tiny slit and then I pull my ear through it. And now this area right by the ear is sitting very flush against my skin. Now we're gonna start gluing her down. I'm using the Gotta Be Glued gel like we discussed. I'm gonna squeeze out a little bit on my finger like this. I'm gonna start spreading her out. I like to cover about 1/4 of an inch of skin and then at least 1 inch back on my hairline. See how we've got a little glob right here? You gotta smooth that out, girl. The part we're gonna pay special attention to is right by the ear on either side. When I am certain that it is thoroughly applied, I'll pull out my blow dryer and I'm not gonna put it on the hot setting. I'm gonna put it on the cool setting. In my experience, the hot setting on the blow dryer will sort of reactivate this glue. Once she is completely dry, take something thin and flat. This is the end of my edge control brush. We have gel, glue, whatever, connected to my forehead all along right here. So we need to unstick the gel in the shape that we want the hairline to be. I'm going to slip this under and carve out the shape in the dried glue that I want my hairline to be. Once that unsticking step is completed, I'm going to take a little face razor like this. So that line that we unstuck, I'm going to place my razor along that line and pull the band of the wig cap up against the razor so that the razor is cutting in the shape that we want. Place along the line, pull against the wig cap. Once this band is detached from under my ear on here and under my ear on here, I don't want you to cut this band. We're gonna pull this band up like this so that we can keep the back of this wig cap firmly pressed against the back of my neck. Sometimes we'll have a couple threads sticking up like this, so I'm just going to go through and cut those. Do you see how this is a really harsh line along the forehead right there? I want to feather that out, so I'm going to take our glue gel that we've been using, tiniest dot on the tip of my finger. You can barely see it, that's how tiny of a dot I'm using. I'm going to press it along that line and pull. And this is the difference it makes. This side has been feathered in, this side has not. Do you see how sharp and harsh this line is? And it's a little bit more blended in on this side. Once you're done, she should look something like this. Go watch part 2, putting the wig on. Let me know if you have any questions, darling. And happy Halloween.